Well, it's because the left, I mean, they really have lost it. So, Matt, you were the first person I saw tweet out this new Canada law, the actual text of this new law in Canada, which effectively bans both religion and reason in the country.
Yes.
I mean, it is a bill that is just mad.
It is a fall of the West bill.
It is a stark, raving, mad bill encoded into law and punishable by 5 years in prison. If you use your brain or you worship God or both, then you are going to end up in prison in Canada for being a baseline decent parent. Is basically the way that this bill is written. Why don't you talk about it a little bit?
Well,
I saw it from you.
Right. It's an it's Bill C-4 in Canada. It's anti-conversion therapy. And there are several countries across the world that have banned quote-unquote conversion therapy. Always got to put the air quotes around it. There are, I think, more than 20, dozens of states in this country that have done the same. And, of course, we're told that conversion therapy is this process of trying to convert a gay person to be straight. And
what they say is that it's what it used to be was electrocute people.
Right, exactly.
They get aroused by same-sex.
Exactly. When you hear the term conversion therapy, it brings to mind quite intentionally this image of people, someone strapped with a straitjacket being electrocuted.
Mike Pence standing next to him pulling the lever.
Exactly. Yeah. But that of course is not happening anywhere in the West right now. And so then you ask, well, what exactly is conversion therapy? And so you read the bill that bans conversion therapy in Canada, because you always have to ask, anytime the government bans something that isn't really happening, then you have to ask, well, what exactly is the bill doing? Yeah. And you read the text, and it's right there. They define conversion therapy. First of all, it applies to both gender and sex. And it says that essentially, if a child or anybody wants to change their sex, and you engage in any, I think the word is practice, counsel, or service, which is like anything.
Or if you're a parent who refers them.
Right. If you to try to convince them otherwise, or to try to suppress their true gender identity, then you're guilty of conversion therapy. You go to prison for 5 years. And the same goes for sexual orientation. Any counsel, service, or practice that encourages or suppresses gender identity or sexual orientation.
Or sexual behavior, by the way.
Right.
If you repress sexual behavior.
Is sexual orientation. So just think about that for a second. If you encourage your son, let's say, to embrace his biological identity, if you say to your son, you are a boy and that's good, and you're a male and that's what you should be, that's conversion. By telling him to be who he is. That's conversion therapy. And you can go to prison for it. And it also means that as many pastors in Canada have realized, that if they get up there at the pulpit, and very few pastors are even doing this anyway, but if they did get up there at the pulpit and read from the Pauline epistles, or give a sermon about biblical sexual morality, they are guilty of conversion therapy. You could go to prison.
This is being described as an issue of religious liberty, and of course, to a degree, it is about religious liberty. They just outlawed Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, but it's deeper than just religious liberty. They've outlawed the truth. They've outlawed the truth. If you tell your kid the truth about who he is, you'll go to prison, and that is a much scarier thing, even than the already dangerous issue of limiting.
By the way, it only works one direction.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing.
In terms of falsehood.
The law specifically states that you cannot try to convert someone to heterosexual or convert them to cisgender. It doesn't say you can't try to suppress someone's gender identity. It could say that, but instead it says you cannot suppress their gender identity of a non-cisgender identity. So it specifies that, which means that it's actually legal to try to convert someone to trans or convert them to gay. It specifically leaves that open in the law.
Well, because if it weren't, the entire ruling class would be in the clink right now, because that's what they're trying to do.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.